Good evening, I'm Twink Makariig. The anti-subversion law was first passed in 1968, effectively outlawing the Communist Party of the Philippines and its armed affiliates. That law underwent several amendments until its final version, known as PD 1835, or the Anti-Subversion Law of 1981, which held sway until its repeal in 1992. Some 15 years since, some of the country's highest security officials are calling for the anti-subversion law to be revived. Debating this tonight, Sharmila Parmanand, a fourth-year political science major at the Ateneo de Manila and a member of the Ateneo Debate Society for the Affirmative, versus Romel Herali, a fourth-year economics student at UST and a member of UST's AB Debate Parliament for the Negative. This is Square Off. Here are our rules. Each debater is given 2 minutes to present his opening statement on tonight's main proposition, which is broken down into several aspects or subtopics. For round one, the negative speaker is given 1 minute and 30 seconds to give his constructive speech on the subtopic. The affirmative speaker is given 1 minute for his rebuttal. The negative speaker is given 30 seconds to respond. Then the affirmative debater gives his constructive speech for 1 minute and 30 seconds. The negative debater gets 1 minute for rebuttal, and the affirmative speaker has 30 seconds to counter that rebuttal. This procedure is followed for the next rounds, but the order of speakers will be reversed with each round. The last round is for closing arguments. Each speaker will be given 1 minute for that summation. Each debater will be allowed to directly ask one question of his opponent within a 30-second limit at the end of each round, while answers will be given 1 minute. The judge will decide which debater presented the stronger argument, which he will explain at the end of each round. This will comprise 40% of the final results, while 60% will come from text votes. To vote, text poll space SO space your choice, Shah or Mel, and send to 2366 for Globe and Sun and 231 for Smart subscribers. But make sure you've heard both sides before deciding. Only votes that come in during the break after each round will be counted. Final results will be shown at the end of the program. Our guest judge tonight, Attorney Howard Calleja, a professor at the FEU and Ateneo Schools of Law. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Square Off.
Good evening, Twink, and good evening to everybody.
Now on to the main event, our main proposition for tonight. The anti-subversion law should be reinstated. Ms. Parmanand, for the affirmative side. You have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We aspire for a constitutional democracy where the rule of law is actually upheld. But in this context, rights then are never absolute. Our rights to represent our interests or our rights to protest, for example, always have to be coursed through or exercised through legal means. And obviously, corollary to this, the state has a duty and a right to protect itself and its citizens from groups that seek to overthrow the state through revolutionary violence or through guerrilla warfare. Of course, the state has to do this through means that are constitutional and by giving the accused due process, which is precisely what the anti-subversion law stipulates. In 1992, we repealed this law as an act of good faith to reach out to the elements of the radical left in a peace process. But since then, they've refused to renounce violence as a tool. They still insist on overthrowing the existing Philippine state. They've actually vowed to step up attacks in the Philippines, which is why a summit with Asian leaders was postponed from December to January this year. And they still maintain their strategy of targeting politicians and targeting even members of their own groups that are sympathetic to coordinating with the Philippine government. And these actions have had harsh effects on the business climate in the Philippines and even on the individual security of citizens. So in light of all these things, we say it's necessary to make the CPP an illegal organization once more. Of course, it's also important to follow due process when prosecuting members of this organization, and that's precisely what I'm defending today in view of the right of the state to defend itself, in view of the right of the state to protect the rights of individual citizens, to security, and to preserving the existence of the state.
Thank you, Sharmila. Mr. Herali, for the negative, you have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, good evening. What the anti-subversion law really does is it criminalizes mere membership of people inside the Communist Party of the Philippines. What's wrong with this measure is that it really does not address the real issues incorporated in rebellion. as you can see, rebels exist because there are certain issues that had not been addressed. And if these issues are to be addressed, then we shall see that the main issues, the main sources of this kind of rebellion is being cut. If we would just implement a measure wherein you would suppress dissent, then you could actually create a climate wherein political dissent could not be allowed by the state, or rather it could not be accepted in the society. What this does is it keeps the people at bay, but then really not addressing the issues on poverty, the issues on landlessness, the issues on grinding hunger. If these issues are to be addressed, this is the only way that we could curb rebellion, that we could stop the kind of actions that these groups are undertaking, killing as what the affirmative side have stated. This is the only way on which it could really address the problem of rebellion. In the second note, further on, as my speech progresses, I will state why it is not necessary, why it is not beneficial, and why it is not practicable in the state or in the context of the Philippines.
And thank you, Romel. We will begin round one after this short break. Our speakers are debating whether or not the anti-subversion law should be reinstated. Stay tuned. You're watching Square Off.
Ang kaso ng rape na muntik nang makalusot sa batas, uungkatin.
Walang nakakilala, hindi kasi ma-recognize yung mukha niya kasi durog, basag yung mukha niya. Pero makita sa kanyang na bata.
Inamin niya andan sa amateur video ang pagpatay kay Mary Ann.
Ituturo ng ebidensya ang katotohanan. SOCO, Scene of the Crime Operatives.
What is your right to intrude into the privacy of something that should not even be known?
Who really makes the news?
You know, someone dares and someone speaks up and says, I will name her.
What's the story behind the story?
I said, what kind of BS is this?
How many versions does the truth have?
We need to shame people who are corrupt and who deserve to be shamed.
Why is the medium the message?
You think that it's so easy to be a movie journalist. It's not.
ANC sets the forum.
No comment is the worst thing you can do.
Cheche Lazaro asks the questions.
How do you catch an erring journalist? How do you catch somebody who's corrupt?
Media in focus.
Do you consider, for example, libel suits a badge of honor in a manner of speaking?
Thursdays at 6 p.m.
But what about the right to know, the public's right to know?
ANC has a place where Manila and the regions connect on issues on the news, a place where newsmakers and decision makers cross paths and sometimes cross swords.
They say that they are going to get the Abu Sayyaf anytime now, but you see, if you have a goose that lays the golden eggs, it will be extremely difficult for you to part with it.
Beg to disagree with his observation that there is collusion between the Abu Sayyaf and the military.
You can be patriotic but do not play with the lives of 130 innocent passengers and 5 crewmen.
Ang allegations nila yan, maraming naiinggit sa akin, especially with my present stature.
ANC has a place for the nation to dissect the views that intersect. On Crossroads, hosted by Tony Velasquez, Fridays at 8 p.m., only on ANC.
Welcome back. I'm Twink Bacaraig, Charmila Parmanand, and Romel Herali are debating whether or not the anti-subversion law should be reinstated. Let's begin round one. Our proposition for this round, reinstating the anti-subversion law is practicable. Romel, for your negative constructive argument, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
What is actually wrong with this measure is that once it is applied, it subjects the citizens to the arbitrary rules of the state. And if one is considered a subversive, what does that necessarily mean? is that mere membership to the Communist Party of the Philippines, not really stating what is the wrong acts that has been done. And if that is mere membership is being penalized here, it clearly contradicts the constitutional guarantees which is being expressed in the Constitution. If the person is